You didn't see it coming. You thought you were being smart, saving money. The shipments came late, the returns stacked up, and your team's drowning in damage control. That supplier didn't save you a penny. They just handed you a silent, slow disaster. But it didn't happen all at once. It's slow, quiet, hidden in delays, excuses, and emails that start with apologies for the inconvenience. And by the time you realize it's a problem, you're in too deep. That so-called deal is bleeding your business dry, and you don't even see it yet. This isn't just about numbers, it's about how cheap gets expensive real fast, and why bad suppliers always cost you more. Before we get into this, it's important to understand that low prices do not always mean low quality. In fact, with the right strategy, it's possible to find manufacturers who can deliver better than expected quality at surprisingly competitive prices. The key is knowing how to separate real value from risky shortcuts, because price and quality aren't always tied together. Low prices might not just be a number, it could be a signal. The savings you think that you're making could be coming from someone else taking shortcuts. While some suppliers can offer exceptional prices with great performance and quality, without proper vetting, low prices could mean fewer quality checks, cheaper materials, a workforce turning over faster than they could be trained. In some cases, it looks efficient, but underneath, it's brittle, fragile. One bump and the whole system cracks. And somehow, smart companies still fall for it because the cost is obvious, but the damage, that sneaks up on you. In the next few minutes, you'll see exactly how a great deal can gut your operations from the inside and what to watch out for before it's too late. It starts with a quote. One number, a few lines lower than the rest. You tell yourself it's the same product, same specs, why pay more? So you go with the cheaper option. The invoices look better, your margins breathe a little. But then reality kicks in. The first shipment's late. The next one shows up with defects. You're chasing down reps who ghost you the second there's a problem. Meanwhile, your customer service team is buried in complaints. Your ops team is rerouting inventory. Your brand is getting bruised. You're not saving money anymore. You're bleeding it slowly, quietly. You start issuing refunds, paying to ship things back, overnighting replacements, the hours spent on emails, calls, and scrambling. That's a tax that no one budgets for. And while you're stuck babysitting this mess, your competitors are shipping clean, building trust, and moving ahead. That supplier, no warranty, no after-sales support, no accountability, just a low number and a trail of broken promises. What looked like a smart choice, it's now the most expensive decision you've made all year. But you know what is an inexpensive, great decision? Hitting that like button so that more supply chain managers and businesses can get valuable tips on how to source directly from Chinese manufacturers. Now back to the real world fallout. This doesn't just happen in China to newbies or to smaller companies. So let's talk about Boeing, one of the most advanced manufacturers in the world, brought to its knees by a supplier cutting corners. That may be a bit dramatic since it's Boeing. I digress. In 2020, investigators discovered that titanium parts used in Boeing's 787 jets were substandard. Why? Because a small Italian subcontractor swapped the high-grade titanium alloy for a cheaper, weaker, less resilient, pure titanium substitute. This went on for 4 years. On paper, it saved money. In reality, over 470 aircrafts were potentially compromised. That one supplier choice triggered a chain reaction. Boeing had to re-inspect, ground, and potentially refit hundreds of jets. Costs soared, stocks dipped, headlines exploded. Think about that. A trillion-dollar brand stained because someone wanted to shave a few cents off a component. The fallout? It wasn't just financial, it was reputational. Regulators tightened their grip, partners lost confidence. And all of it started with a cheaper option. When your supplier fails, you don't just pay the price, you pay the penalty. Whether you're building planes or packaging soap, the outcome's the same. Cut corners and you'll eventually cut your own legs out from under you. A bad supplier doesn't just mess up one order, they shatter everything around it. First, you lose revenue. The product's delayed, the customer's gone, and you can't bill what never ships. Then your reputation takes a hit. One missed promise turns into a bad review, a lost contract, and a client who never comes back. Internally, your team starts to burn out. Morale tanks. People are tired of cleaning up someone else's mess. You're not leading growth anymore. You're putting out fires. Investors, they start asking questions. Why did we trust this vendor? What's the backup plan? Confidence fades. Now zoom out. Remember Mattel's 2007 recall? Over 18 million toys pulled because a Chinese supplier used lead-based paint? The fallout? Millions in losses, new federal safety laws, a brand dragged through the mud. Click up here to watch more about that disaster. What started out as a cost-saving move turned into a global recall and irreversible trust damage. And this isn't just for toys or planes, whether you sell software or sneakers. When your supplier cuts corners, the ripple hits everyone: customers, staff, leadership, and investors. You don't just lose a product, you lose trust, confidence. Your brand takes a hit, and sometimes you don't ever recover. So how do you avoid the landmines? You stop chasing the lowest price above all else and start evaluating the highest value. Look for suppliers with a proven track record, not promises, proof. Who have they worked with? How long? What happened when things went wrong? Check their quality assurance. Are they testing their own products, or are they leaving that up to you and your angry customers? Demand operational transparency. If you can't see what's happening, you can't fix what's coming. This kind of oversight is challenging for any company to handle alone, especially from thousands of miles away. A trusted sourcing team can provide on-the-ground support in China to help ensure your suppliers are aligned with your goals. There's more info in the description box if you want to learn how that works. Communication matters. When things break, will they ghost you or get on a call? And don't forget the real cost: reorders, repairs, and returns. Pay for quality once or pay for cleanup forever. Cheap fades fast, but quality lasts. If they're not in it for the long haul with you, they're not worth a dime. If you're still making decisions based on the cheapest quote without completing other vetting or audits, due diligence, you're already behind. The real pros don't save money at the start, they protect profits at the end. So the next time you get that too good to be true offer, think twice. If you found this video to be helpful, or if it saved you a costly mistake, please be sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out our latest podcast right up here with our sourcing experts, and I will see you in the next one.